Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie, places famous for gold mines, are located in A. Australia, B. USA, C. England, D. South Africa. Kalgoorlie Boulder, known colloquially as just Kalgoorlie, is a city in the Goldfields Esperance region of Western Australia, located 595 kilometers (370 miles) east-northeast of Perth at the end of the Great Eastern Highway. Ordinary table salt is sodium chloride. What is baking soda? A. Potassium chloride. B. Potassium carbonate. C. Potassium hydroxide. D. Sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate, commonly known as baking soda or bicarbonate of soda, is a chemical compound with the formula NaCO3. It is a salt composed of a sodium cation and a bicarbonate anion. Sodium bicarbonate is a white solid that is crystalline, but often appears as a fine powder. Which club holds the record for having held the FAR Cup for the longest, 7 years, despite only winning it once in that time? A. Liverpool FC. B. Manchester City FC. C. Manchester United F.C. D. Portsmouth FC. Portsmouth hold the record for having held the FAR Cup for the longest, 7 years, despite only winning it once in that time. This was because they won it in 1939 and there was no professional football during the war. Likewise, Italy held the World Cup between 1934 and 1950 to 16 years, or 4 tournaments, having only won it twice in that time. Who is the father of geometry? A. Aristotle. B. Euclid. C. Pythagoras. D. Kepler. Euclid was an ancient Greek mathematician active as a geometer and logician. Considered the father of geometry, he is chiefly known for the Elements treatise, which established the foundations of geometry that largely dominated the field until the early 19th century.
What is the original name of famous South actor Prabhas? A. Venkat Satyanarayana Prabhas Raju Uppalapti. B. Venkat Satyanarayana Prabhas. C. Venkat Prabhas Raju. D. Satyanarayana Prabhas. Uppalapti Venkat Suryanarayana Prabhas Raju, born the 23rd of October 1979, known mononymously as Prabhas, is an Indian actor who works predominantly in Telugu cinema. One of the highest paid actors in Indian cinema, Prabhas has featured in Forbes India's Celebrity 100 list 3 times since 2015 based on his income and popularity. He has received 7 Filmfare Awards South nominations and is a recipient of the Nandi Award and the CIMA Award. Which Indian player was named as the captain of ESPN series Info D and T20 teams of the decade? A. Virat Kohli. B. Mahendra Singh Dhoni. C. Rohit Sharma. D. Suresh Raina. Former Indian cricket team captain, Mahendra Singh Dhoni was selected as the captain of both the ESPN Cricinfo's ODI and T20 teams of the decade. Virat Kohli was selected as the captain of ESPN Cricinfo's Test team of the decade, while he found place in all the three formats. Famous Indian batsman Rohit Sharma was included in the ODI team of the decade, while spinner Ashwin found place in the Test team. Bumrah was the only bowler to be placed in the T20 list. What is the original name of Akshay Kumar? A. Om Bhatia, B. Hari Bhatia, C. Rajiv Bhatia, D. Rajiv Hari Om Bhatia. Rajiv Hari Om Bhatia, born the 9th of September 1967, known professionally as Akshay Kumar, is an Indian-born naturalized Canadian actor and film producer who works in Hindi cinema. In over 30 years of acting, Kumar has appeared in some 100 films and has won several awards, including a National Film Award for Best Actor and 2 Filmfare Awards. Kumar is among the most prolific actors of Hindi cinema. Nearly half his films have been commercially successful. What is the chemical name of laughing gas? A. Nitrous oxide, B. Silicon dioxide, C. Aluminium oxide, D. Zinc oxide. Nitrous oxide, commonly known as laughing gas, nitrous, or NOS, is a chemical compound, an oxide of nitrogen with the formula N2O. At room temperature, it is a colorless non-flammable gas, and has a slightly sweet scent and taste. At elevated temperatures, nitrous oxide is a powerful oxidizer similar to molecular oxygen. Which of the following country hosted the first Football World Cup? A. America, B. Argentina, C. Brazil, D. Uruguay. The 1930 FIFA World Cup was the inaugural FIFA World Cup, the World Championship for men's National Association football teams. It took place in Uruguay from 13 to the 30th of July 1930. FIFA, football's international governing body, selected Uruguay as host nation, as the country would be celebrating the centenary of its first constitution and the Uruguay national football team had successfully retained their football title at the 1928 Summer Olympics. All matches were played in the Uruguayan capital, Montevideo, the majority at the Estadio Centenario, which was built for the tournament. Which country became the first nation to win the Football World Cup? A. Uruguay, B. Germany, C. Argentina, D. Belgium. The first ever World Cup was held in the year 1930 with Uruguay winning the title. It was the first and only edition of the World Cup where no qualification was held. It was an invitational competition open to all FIFA-affiliated nations. Uruguay also became the first ever world champion, beating Argentina in the final 4-2.